Welcome back to Lisa's Study Guides. I'm Lisa. I hope you guys have had an awesome holiday. Summer has flown by so quickly and I'm really excited for this year's worth of content. We've been working really hard on our blog posts as well to really cater for all the new texts that are coming onto the syllabus. So if you're in year 12 this year, hey girlfriend, I know that you could be a dude, but yeah, I'm really excited to help you out this year. And if you're in any of the younger year levels, then I have a feeling that a lot of what I'm doing will also be helpful because I'm also going to start covering year 11 texts and below this year. Yes, it's an exciting year. I wanted to say thank you so much for all of your support. If you have been watching my personal channel, Lisa Tran, I'll just link it up above for you. So I've been putting up a few videos up on there over the summer while this channel has been taking a bit of a break. But let's just get started into it. Today we're going to talk about oral presentations, and I have done many videos on oral presentations in the past. So I'll link a playlist for you just down below. It's got some of my best tips for you when it comes to doing oral presentations. I used to be really shy in high school, hated public speaking, and I got an A+ in my oral presentation in year 12. So if I could do it, I know that you can absolutely do it as well. Basically, I'm going to talk about 5 potential oral presentation topics that you can go through this year. Now, there's a particular criteria on the VCA assessment board where it needs to be a topic that is Australian and a topic that has been in the Australian media since September 2018, basically the year before. So what that means is as you're researching topics, just make sure that you try to find ones that satisfy these 2 criteria points. Now, I know that some schools kind of break these rules and I don't really understand that. You know, I guess I'm not a teacher within these schools, but if your school has a different take on it and different guideline, just stick by that. So I'm going to give you a very high level explanation of some of these topics. Don't hate on me on not going into enough detail or not covering enough. That's for you to do, for you to research what your contention is going to be and what your arguments will be. So number 1, should we have gender quotas? More and more companies are now setting quotas or numbers on how many females and males they will accept in order to promote diversity. Those for gender diversity by implementing quotas argue that this is a proactive approach in eliminating widespread sexism in the workplace that has existed for decades. Those against gender quotas argue it should be those who are skilled for the jobs who should get them, regardless of if they're male or female. Number 2, is Australian media exaggerating African violence? There have been a cascade of events involving African gangs in 2018, and people are wondering, is the media exaggerating the African gang problem? Is there even a problem? Some say there is and that we need to start taking action. Others, including those part of the Sudanese community, argue that they're being unfairly represented. 3, Apple flagship store at Federation Square. We all know and love Federation Square. The question is, are we still gonna love it just as much if there's a huge Apple store plonked into the middle of it? Or is that going to influence the way that we see Melbourne and our love for Melbourne? Some say that installing an Apple store is disregarding the heritage space of Federation Square, that it will be an eyesore and will dramatically change the community space. Others, most obviously Apple advocates, are all for the commercialization of the space. Number 4, privacy concerns over our personal online data. Majority of us know the feeling of downloading a new app only to skip right past the terms and conditions to the easy tick so that we can just get on with our day. But what are we actually giving away? You've probably heard of the massive trial involving Facebook, privacy breaches, and the European Union's GDPR. There's a flurry of activity right now around privacy data. And so I leave the question to you. At what expense is our personal information? What are we willing to give in order to use social media, tools, and other online apps? Number 5, should we tax red meat? Red meat's been a long-term staple of Australian tradition. Barbecue, steaks, and more. But the stats are stacking against red meat. Not only is it labeled carcinogenic, it's also known to increase other health risks, negatively impact the climate through greenhouse gas emissions, and more. We tax alcohol and cigarettes, so why not meat? Some argue that meat is the new tobacco, but others argue that meat has been a part of our culinary tradition, and to tax meat is just pure excessiveness. So that's an overview of 5 potential topics you can cover this year. Every single year, I release 20 new oral presentation topics that you can choose from. So I'm gonna link up that blog post up above and down below in case any of these 5 do not particularly resonate with you. And just as a bonus, at the very bottom of all of my blog posts, you can join my mailing list where it's completely free. Upon sign up, you get a text response mini guide where we go through how to break down prompts, how to structure an essay, and there's like a sample essay in there for you. It's a good time to get started now because it's like the start of the year, so you might as well get all the resources you can. So every single week, I send out new emails where I'm just covering things that I think are important for you to know, whether it's blog posts that have been released, YouTube videos, information from Vika or teachers that have just come about, and I think, you know, you should really know these in order to amp up your knowledge and amp up your skills as well in English. So go ahead and sign up there if you're interested. Other than that, I am glad to be back. I will be back every single Friday from now on. So I will see you guys next week.